Hello, everybody. Zeff here with ZeffsTrading. Hope you guys are doing well. Wanted to go over a live trade video for you today, and this is going to be a little bit of a different video. As you can see, it's quite long, and the market here today wasn't moving bad. It was moving good. Nice big bullish uptrend, as we can see here on a second entry long higher low. So I took this based on a higher low confirmation of a second entry long, and on the day so far, I'm technically down 5 ticks. Now, the first trade I took was a first entry, second entry long failure, as you can see where that little arrow, black arrow is to the left of the screen here. And I got stopped out on that one by an outside bar. So I already have one loss in my pocket. And then the second entry long, I just mismanaged the trade overall. And I didn't correctly read how far or how much I could get out of this particular scalp. So I basically got out for break even though it went to 7 ticks. I think the appropriate thing to do would have been 4 ticks. And the only reason being is because of it being below the EMA and it's a fresh high of day. A lot of context based on that second entry long for not being able to scalp out for 8 ticks. But then, so this is my third and final trade of the day based on some of my rules that I do here. And as you can see, this is a very painful trade actually. My mental stamina is running out on the day. And just want to be transparent and kind of give you a walkthrough on this trade of I'm sure a lot of people have the same thing happen to them and don't really know how to deal with it. So I'm going to go through my thoughts here. Okay, so I enter this second entry long higher low confirmation. It's a pretty decent signal bar. It didn't close green, but it's closing above the EMA. This is my first break of the trend channel. So by my checklist, there's so many things that are happening that are good for me within the system. And so right here, as you can see, my stop loss is in a good spot. My entry is in a good spot. And I'm scalping for 8 ticks. And I actually do change it to 10 ticks. And the reason I change it for 10 ticks is because I understand that the swing high is so far up and I have plenty of room and I have to be aggressive here with 10 ticks in order to capitalize on what's happening in the market with it being so bullish and having it be the first break of a major trend channel. Okay, so that being said, with this higher low here, I'm also thinking at this particular moment that I'm having a potential first entry, second entry short failure that's going to happen. And it does happen. This is what I'm thinking. But as you can see, the tick count is moving very slow. The ATR is actually not even above 2 at the moment. So going for 10 ticks is quite asking the market to do something it hasn't done, which is always annoying because you don't know where it's going to go or not going to go. Here I'm just measuring. I'm like, okay, well, really, I should be only going for 6 ticks here. But I just like this setup so much. You don't get this setup very often. You only get maybe a couple a week and a good handful few per month. And so as this trade is basically just bouncing sideways, as you can see here, I'm getting antsy. I already understand that I'm in this trade longer than I'd like to be. The market's moving very slow. And so I'm like, there's plenty of room to the swing high. I'm trying not to get emotional about it, and I'm going for 10 ticks here. My stop loss is definitely in a correct place here. I could have moved it to 12 ticks under the most recent swing low if I really wanted to see if this thing would work out. And I was thinking about doing that, but I realized that, I'd rather just take my 8 tick stop if I do get stopped out here, and I'm fully okay with taking on my risk and just calling it the 3 trades of the day if I lose, and that's totally fine. But as you can see here, I'm just like, okay, there's 12 ticks, but no, my stop loss is in the correct place. I'm not, moving my stop. After this, again, I'm just sitting here already mentally exhausted from being in this trade for 4 minutes plus, and this thing just isn't moving. And it's hard to deal with. It's hard to sit here and trying to scalp, and you're thinking of all these thoughts. You're trying to not mismanage the trade. You're trying to think of, where do I put my stop loss? Where do I put my profit target? And thousands of thoughts are racing through your head. And I just kind of realized the only thing I need to do is put my stop where it needs to go, leave my profit target where it needs to be, and that is what I need to do. And so then this is the point where, there's 450 ticks left here in a second. As you can see, it's moving very slow. And I realized that my analysis of it being a failed second entry short is correct, and I was actually thinking of adding on in this particular instance, but I did not. This technically, in hindsight, would have been the right thing to do with adding on to a position. When you know you're winning, you need to add on, but my mental state was not good, so I did not do that. As you can see here, now we have a failed second entry short once the signal bar that closes here in the 25 second. There we go. 25 ticks. Next bar opens. If it goes one tick higher, that would be a full entry on a failed second entry short. So in context here, we have a bullish uptrend with a second entry long into a higher low and failed second entry short if this goes one tick higher here. Once I see it go one tick higher, as you can see, market is definitely taking its time. But at this point, I'm also thinking of moving my stop. But if I move my stop underneath the outside bar here, then I think that would be too aggressive. And I think it doesn't give room to what's happening in this trade. So that being said, we can just see, again, there's right here, it still actually hasn't gone above the previous bar. And that's what I'm waiting for confirmation to see if this market has more to the upside or not. I do have two previous small swing lows here that I am cautious of, and I'm wondering if market's going to go through those or not. And my profit target is technically right at the previous swing high. So once I see this nice spike up here, I'm again just making sure I measure that there was 2 points there, and I really wanted to get out of the trade at 2 points, but I no, there's plenty of room for 10 ticks here, just leave it. So I'm battling emotional turmoil in my head right now. You can see there, I just marked for the failed second entry short. And I'm basically saying to myself, if this bar closes green, that's a good sign. And I'm getting more confident than in the setup overall. So 31 ticks here. There, I see this nice, really good green bar. I'm like, perfect. This is exactly what I want to see. And I see it go up, and it's literally one tick away from my profit target. And this is where the pain really starts to endure. Watching it go one tick away from my profit target, I'm so tempted to just get out here for, try to get out for 2 points. I'm dragging my profit target. I'm like, nope, just leave it. This is only a pullback. So again, battling thoughts of trying to get out. And then I've seen this before, and this is where experience comes in. Again, I just see, there's a small pullback. This is what happens. I type buy a painful trade here because it's been painful. But I'm still realize that this is a small pullback. This happens. There's still more to the upside. Be patient. It'll pay off. And I literally am seeing 2 points, and I'm, everything my being, taking it and make sure I don't get out. Because that's what you got to do, is battle these thoughts. And then, again, sure enough, I do get my 10, and then it touches, as you can see there, but based on limit, there we go. Okay, hope you guys enjoyed this video and learned a lot.